All right. So the third advance directive that we go through is called a living will. This is really a document that outlines someone's end of life wishes. So it's a directive regarding the end of life wishes. It talks a lot about life sustaining treatment at the end of life. So if you are in a vegetative state, if you were brain dead, what would you want to happen to you? A lot of times your healthcare proxy would be able to make this decision anyway, but you're giving them a directive. And really, that's to take the burden off of the person who needs to make this decision. If anyone's ever been in this circumstance where they had to make that decision, the guilt is heavy. So this gives a little bit of a relief from that. Okay, mom signed this living will. She said that at end of life, if she was in this state, she didn't want to be kept alive any longer. I, as the healthcare proxy, can now follow through with that wish for her and not have guilt, or as much guilt, I guess, doing that for her. So yeah, so the living will is usually a family document that doesn't actually need to get put out to the doctors or healthcare providers, etc. The only time it would really be used is if, say siblings were arguing with each other, the ethics board at the hospital would take a look at the living will and say, okay, this is what their mom wanted. We're gonna go ahead with letting her go. Um, just to be clear, because this gets confusing sometimes with end of life decision making, a living will is not a DNR. Okay, so a lot of times clients say, "Oh, I don't want a DNR. I'm way too young." Everyone in this room is obviously way too young for a DNR, which says that you don't want to be resuscitated no matter what. So you have a DNR and you have a heart attack. You don't want CPR. That's not what a living will is. A living will is once you're way at the end of your life, and there's no hope of recovery to go back, that these are your wishes, that you don't want to be kept alive. Okay. It's also different than what's called a MOST. That's something that you could fill out with your doctor. It's a lot more specific. It's multiple, has multiple fields about what you want to happen towards the end of life, really preparing for end of life decision making, what types of activities you like, different things like that. But that's prepared with a physician, not an estate planning attorney.